I thought I'd do a quick pre-exhaust sound mod check along with a check for the new gauge that I've installed onto the bike. So currently in the exhaust that you're hearing right now, I'll get closer, don't worry, you have the Vance and Hines super quiet baffles. And they do a good job of keeping it down. Oddly enough, it doesn't sound like it is, but they do. However, I have noticed that the power is a little bit down compared to when I bought it, and it's getting not the decel pop, but that overrun, which I don't mind, but some people do. So I'm just going to get closer to the bike to let you hear that, and we'll also check out the gauge, which has got a problem on it, but it's not leaking at least. So that was the exhaust before I add the Thunder torque inserts from DK Customs. I'll get a sound with the baffles completely out, as in straight through. I didn't get a sound clip of the bike when it had the baffles that come with the long shots. They didn't seem very restrictive at all. I've still got those, and I'll have a shot of all three options coming up soon. However, that is the exhaust as it stands now. So as you can see, I've taken the long shots of the Vance and Hines, essentially now making them, I think, short shots. However, that said, this is actually stock standard, so these are slip-on mufflers, so this is actually stock standard. I do like the fact that it's still got the crossover bar. I think that's helpful. It helps with torque, and torque is what you want. So enough talk. Yes, I made that. I'll put this down here. I haven't started this yet, so I don't know what it's going to sound like. My neighbors are going to love me.
Neighbors, everybody needs good neighbors.
Just going to move away from the exhaust. Okay, so that's it without the anything in it at all. That's too loud, but I just had to do it anyway, didn't you? Enjoy the silence. Who sang that? So yes, that was the sound of stock exhausts without any baffles in it whatsoever, and the baffles out. Now comes the fun part where I get to put in these Thunder torque inserts. I'll let you have a look. I haven't opened up the package yet. It comes with instructions, which I have actually already written, obviously already read 3 or 4 times. Might require a drill out, but then considering that the baffles are in fact almost basically welded into my slip-ons down here with that, they're almost welded out. It looks like I'm going to have to drill that hole out anyway. I think I can, if I decide to go back to these, I think I can put that back as a, just weld another nut in there or something like that, just ream it out a bit. I don't think I'll go back to these. I've got another set. I'll show you a set. I'll show you all three different styles once I've got these out, which could be in a couple of days' time. Looks cool like that. On the left, that is the left, yes, that's the DK Customs lollipop. They call it torque insert, but I've got it mounted in here. I'll show it how it works in a moment. This big long bum hole, I shouldn't call it a bum hole, but this big long one was the one that came with the long shot. Now, I'm calling them long shots. They're really just slip-ons. So just to bear that in mind, these are slip-ons only. They're not the full exhaust. And that was quite loud, but it was should I say, it was at the right level from a decibels point of view, but it was very clack sound, not the rumble that you expect from a Harley. So I'd heard good things about this thing. Now, if you're looking at it, the only difference between what you would see online versus what I've got here is this is normally wrapped with some Glad wrap or some plastic with, I suppose it's some sort of sheeting, exhaust sheeting. Now, obviously, as I'm taking this out, I have had to get rid of all that. Now, this is the super quiet Vance and Hines baffle. Now, there's one problem with it, right? And let's have a look and see. I've bashed the shit out of it, excuse my French, but basically that's sitting in here like that, okay? Now, the problem with that is that there is virtually no area for the exhaust to come through other than through here and through baffles, etc. I think it's giving too much back pressure. Now, there's people who will say that it needs back pressure and people that won't. DK customers have an excellent thing on debunking all the myths. Suggest you look at it. I'll try to put it up here. I'm not very good at that, so maybe I'll just leave it in the description. Anyway, I'm a fan of free-flowing exhausts. So what I've done is I've installed it here. Now, if you have a look at the end here, Vance and Hines puts a hole right at the end. It's actually smaller than that. I've reamed it out. But when I installed this, I felt that the lollipop, I'm calling it a lollipop, most people call them lollipops, but they're also torque thunder inserts or thunder torque inserts, was too close to the edge, to the end. So pretty much on my exhaust, the cover that goes over the top of this finishes literally there too. So you'd see the little popper out the end there. Also, the instructions say to put it about an inch to 2 inches, half an inch to 2 inches in. So I went online to find out what half an inch is equal to in real measurements and said, right, I'll put it there. Followed their instructions. It's not done up yet, but you can hopefully, if I put it up into the sun for a second, this will either work or it won't. I can see it, but I don't think you can, but I can see through it anyway. What I'm getting at is that the gases have a lot more room to get past. I believe that the idea of the curvature allows gases to come past but not back in. Something to do with reversionary gases. Not sure, but I'm going to install a lollipop into the other one of these that I've taken off. The other one was a lot harder to take out because the nuts had stripped, etc. I'm calling it a day because it's 36 degrees and that is usually beer temperature. So once again, this is the exhausts. Now it's a stock exhaust with long shot slip-ons on the end, completely baffleless, but with thunder torque inserts, and they're installed directly in front. So rather like, instead of like that, they're like that. So giving as much of, getting rid of as much reversionary gas as possible. So I'll just get closer to the bike. Just started her up, so just running a little shaker. So yeah, I don't know about the sound myself. It's still a very clacky sound rather than a deep rumble. Now, from what I can gather, I really do need something like a Bassani road rage or those radius sweeps that come down, and they come down like this and they flip down and they just lovely sweep there. But in Australia money, that's nearly $1,500. And frankly, I've got plans for a different bike, or should I say a second bike to this. This is a perfect bike as it is. I don't want to do any more to it than that. So the second bike, of course, is going to be probably something vintage, or at least, should I say, classic, like an Iron Head Sporty or something like that. Shovel heads are a little bit too high at the moment, or at least for the amount of coin I have. Anyway, thank you for watching. I may put in some ride footage a little later on today, so that you can hear what it sounds like in the helmet. I suspect it's going to be very, very loud, but I'm okay with it, you know. Thanks. Okay, so I thought what I might do is have a quick in-helmet sound check of the exhaust with the Thunder Talks in them. To my hearing, and I've got earbuds in at the present moment, it's a bit of a much higher tone, more of a crack rather than a rumble. We'll see going on up to 100. That's as fast as we're going to go. I will pass this person. I quite like it, actually. It's loud, obnoxious, it's everything that you want. It's just not the rumble, but I think, as I made mention previously, I'm going to need to get a different type of exhaust to get the rumble that I'm looking for. The touring 103s and 107s have the low bass that I'm looking for. The FXDC probably just doesn't do it because it's a twin cam 96. I don't know. So we're just going to open her up here. No, we're not. I could make that, but we're not going to. We're just going to wait our time, and we're going to pop it here. This guy's coming up on my arse pretty frickin' quickly. So we're doing 100 at the moment, and it's got the sound that I'm looking for, sort of, but I don't think I can get the sound I'm really after with the type of engine I've got, or the or other things. Basically, I think I could probably do it if I spend a little bit of money on the exhaust, but I'm not sure I want to do that. So anyway, well, thank you for watching. I'm off to buy some peanut butter, anchovies, 3 bananas, and some Cabana hot dogs, because I'm living the life. Bonus about the performance. Yes, it has had the effect I wanted. I passed a couple of cars on this road, which is 100, and I don't feel the need to shift down into 4th anymore. So like I tend to run in 5th, and if I've got a long road stretch and I'm doing 100, I'll slap it into 6th for that cruise control. I don't feel the need to get down to 4th any longer. I think I just roll on to the 5th. That's quite a bit of a noticeable difference. So if you are thinking, what does it sound like versus the performance-wise, massive in the ticks box, massive ticks. The sound is a little bit, it's a little less than I want. But as I said, I've made that point a couple of times now. So thank you for the watching the little bonus. Bonus, this is what it sounds like in idle. It's been fully warmed up by now. We're in first at the moment. Pop into second. And pop into third. And we're at the speed limit. I don't know when you guys do your shifting. I like to shift around about, oh, I don't know, 2 grand, 2.5, something like that. So, and also, what with the cops being like they are, you have to be very careful as to when you actually reach for the next speed limit. They like to ping you until, so you have to be right next to the increase on the speed limit, which is a little pedantic, but it is what it is. So we're currently doing 4 with 2.5 on the sorry, we're in 4th, 2.5 on the RPMs by the looks of it, and we're doing 80, and it's sitting pretty. So here's a roll on from 4th to 5th as we now we're in 5th. If this stays like this, and it looks like it probably will, might just slip it into 6th to have that cruise. And there you go. A nice 100 kilometers, 2,220 on the clock, on the RPM, doing 100. Life is good. This road's pretty good. My back isn't feeling it. And big skies. Good times, had fly all.